On this episode of Sloan's Wilderness Expeditions, we load up our packs for an overnight adventure into the Chisos Mountains of Big Bend National Park, hiking out of the thorny desert and into the pines, the pinnacles, and ultimately, the highest point in the park, Emory Peak.
Hey fellow expeditionists, we're in Big Bend National Park.
Today we are in the Chisos Mountains area and we are going to be hiking up to Toll Mountain, setting up camp, and hopefully climbing Emory Peak.
The Chisos Mountains are located in the middle of Big Bend National Park in southwest Texas and is one of the most popular hiking areas of the park, especially to Emory Peak, the park's highest point at an elevation of 7,835 feet. The first leg of our hike would start on the Laguna Meadows Trail before connecting with the Pinnacles Trail for a distance of 3.5 miles and an elevation gain of nearly 1,700 feet to get to our backcountry campsite on Toll Mountain. However, since we were backpacking, the rangers had us park at the Chisos Basin Campground Amphitheater, which adds an additional 0.4 of a mile and 200-foot elevation gain to our hike.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, that's the window. The peak is that way.
It is. First views from the trail.
It's been nearly 15 months since we've done any serious backpacking, and even then, it didn't include this kind of elevation, nor in this dry climate. There's no reliable water in the Chisos Mountains, which means you have to pack all the water you will need for the length of your trip, and at 8 pounds per gallon, water is heavy. Caden and I each had 5 liters of water on us, which is about 11 pounds of added weight per person. And while daytime temps were in the 70s, the nighttime temps fell into the 30s, and even colder at high elevation. So we packed extra layers, heavier sleeping bags, and a 4-season tent just to be safe.
I really dislike steps. I'd rather just walk up a steep hill than have to go up the steps. It wears you out more than anything. From here we got a really good view of the window looking out from the basin in that direction. And we swing around, get that dominating the landscape, and our first really clear views of the pinnacles. And there's Toll Mountain. In the background there, directly above Caden, is Emory Peak. I had to take us a little break here. If we'd have done this just as a day hike, just up to Emory Peak and back, about 9-10 miles, we probably could have handled it if we started it very early. But doing this with these big backpacks and all the extra water we have to take, because there's no water at all, of course, here on the desert mountains, it's probably another extra 20 to 30 pounds on our backs. It's wearing us out, taking up this elevation and such. So we're going to need a little extra breaks here, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm not sure we'll make it to Emory Peak today. We may be wore out by the time we get up to our backpacking site, but if not, we do it first thing in the morning. Okay, that's pretty cool right there.
One thing I had not factored in for this adventure was my weaker left leg. I already wear a compression knee brace for issues I have with it from years of abuse at my day job. But 5 years ago, I tore my Achilles tendon in that leg, and it has never been full strength since. It's not usually an issue, but with the added weight of my pack, coupled with the elevation gain, I was feeling the impact.
Let me guess, the cool views are behind me, right? We have reached the level of the pinnacles. All right, check out our signage here, buddy. Emory Peak, Boot Canyon, South Rim, toilet, backcountry, backpack.
This is the campsite past them.
Oh, nice. Well, we found our backpack trail. Well, we made it to the saddle. It's between Toll Mountain and Emory Peak. So that direction behind me, Emory Peak. In the other direction, Toll Mountain. So hey, let's go check out our campsite and get some of this weight off of us. All right, we are all set up here at our Toll Mountain backcountry campsite. Now you can see behind me here some awesome mountain views. That is directly out from our campsite. So let's take a look at this real quick. Swing you around here. All right, Toll Mountain 1, it's the only campsite here. We got us a couple of little mini bear boxes. There's our one Tigris backpacking tent there. It is a 4-season because it is going to get cold tonight. Now on this side of our tent, let's take a look at the view we have here. Get through these rocks, some trees, and we look directly down into the Chisos Basin. So that's a nice view right there, literally right outside of our tent. We'll come around through here, and here we have a cool common area. It's like if you had a larger group. We've got these logs all built around here and make nice seats. So if you're worried about coming up here looking for good places to sit and relax, well, this has already got it built in. Now let's go just a few hundred feet down the trail here to see the best views. So straight up there is Emory Peak. Really thinking we're going to save that for tomorrow morning. But here, about probably not more than 50 feet, maybe 75 feet from our campsite, are these rocks. Let's see what kind of view we got here. What do you think there, Caden?
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I can live with this. Not bad at all. Of course, I gotta climb on top of the rocks just to see how much more of a view I've got. Oh yeah. Look at that, folks. There you got Emory Peak. Looking down. And there's the window out of the basin. We've got a tree blocking our view here, but behind me some more pinnacles on top of Toll Mountain. And what's behind me? Let's swing around this way. And this view's a little bit blocked, but still mountain views. So this is what makes the misery of backpacking up 3.5 miles, 2,000 foot elevation gain all worthwhile. Got all this to ourselves. So I moved over a little bit further on my little rock outcrop here. Gives us a little more view out of the way of the tree. You can see the whole Chisos village right there. Wow. And over there is a Caden, formerly known as Catfish, and still occasionally known. He still answers to it. What do you think of this?
Pretty darn neat.
Pretty darn neat. Yeah, we've seen a lot of pretty darn neat places, I'd say. But yeah, I definitely feel like Big Bend National Park is severely underrated. Emory Peak, we'll probably see you tomorrow. We are settled in. We took us a nice long break, both overlooking this beautiful scenery And we even laid down in our tents for a little while just to kind of rest up, because man, we were very beat. We were still very beat from that 3.5 mile hike, 2,000 foot elevation gain with those giant backpacks on. So we took us a little rest. We're going to have us some dinner here. Pretty simple stuff. Mac and cheese and some Mountain House. Don't judge. It's lightweight and it works. So yeah, how you enjoying our time here so far, Caden?
Very relaxing up here.
It's very relaxing. That's actually nice. Most of the time, to get Caden out, at least in the past, we had to be constantly doing something, and I think we wore ourselves out so much that now it doesn't matter. We're just relaxed and enjoying the view. So that's kind of what it's all about, really. Loving it. Well, we had a really good meal. You may not think so, but I tell you what, after a strenuous hike and just being in the backcountry, so many things taste good that otherwise may not be that special. It's really the truth. We decided to come out here and take one last view before full darkness sets in. Well, good morning. It was a very windy night. Not super cold, not to the point that we couldn't handle it, obviously, but the wind was just buffeting the tent all night, and you can still hear it very much. I'm in a spot right now that's kind of protected. Got a little sliver here that I can see the sunrise from, so yeah, it's going to be a good day. Looking down into Chisos Basin here at dawn. You can definitely feel the wind up here, a little more exposed. And up there, Emory Peak. About a mile hike up from here. About 900 some elevation gain. But I do think the wind is going to have to let up a lot before we make that attempt. Well, we are all packed up. We are heading over to the Emory Peak Trail, hoping we can dump off our backpacks there and get this party started. So we've got a couple of giant bear boxes down here. It says if you choose not to carry your pack up Emory Peak, it has to be secured in these containers, so we're taking up a whole lot of space in this one. Here we go, 1.5 miles up to the peak. I want you to notice this. Please pee in the woods and not in the composting toilet. Thank you. The plants thank you too. Yes, there is a backcountry toilet up here. It's always nice to have those kind of amenities. This is the little slot that we could see the sunrise from earlier. There it is. Looks way cooler from this angle. It's a climb. We're just below the rocks of the peak. And I don't know that we're going to actually make it up to the geologic peak, because it takes some pretty serious rock climbing to actually get up on top. And that might be a little above our skill set, but we're still going as high as we can. Whew. All right. So those are the rocks to the peak on each side. If you want to get to the top, that's what you got to climb. Let's see what kind of view you got here, buddy. Gnarly. Not a bad view from this side. I do feel like these rocks are climbable. The biggest thing is we're really tired. Do I trust myself to climb those rocks?
I've watched videos of climbing the main summit, and though I could get to the top, I don't know that I could get back down. But the rocks on the lower summit seemed more doable, so up I go.
Making out the best routes. And don't look down. It's just me. Caden stayed below smartly. I'm on the, well, from this angle, the left peak. I don't think it's the one that's got the thing on it for the official height. But it's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, over there would be the highest point. We're on the one right next to it. So this is good.
I didn't realize it at the time, but straight out about 20 miles is Santa Elena Canyon, which we had hiked in just a couple of days ago.
Emory Peak, this is as good as I'm getting, which is actually further than I thought I would get, so right on. Now it's time to start that dangerous climb back down these rocks. All right, on my way down, Caden's down there still taking some pictures. There's a lot to take pictures of. Over there's the lava dome circle that makes up the Chisos Basin area. Simply amazing. It looks so huge from down there, so small from up here. All right. Emory Peak accomplished. We're back down to the trailhead. Now we just got to pull our packs back out of the bear box and make the 3.5 miles back down. Back on the trail and heading down. Been a great adventure, but we still got 3.5 miles to go. So that was our adventure, hiking up to Toll Mountain, camping there, and then going on up to Emory Peak. What an adventure. It really pushed us to our limits, but I'm so glad we did it. So many things to see. What'd you think of it, Caden?
There's some awesome views up there. It really wore us out getting up there, but man, those views are great.
Yeah, it's really cool looking down on the world from a bird's eye view, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yep, we got to make sure it's not another 14 months before we go backpacking again. Not sure about the mountains though. All right, till next time. Peace out.